yeah, for now, let's get some benchmarking done on this guy. All right, so here we have a customer build who found me through a YouTube video. Thank you for watching. And he came in, he bought all these parts himself, and there was a couple little missteps with the purchases, but nothing like major. We have a decent little setup here. And start off, we have a 650 watt EVGA power supply. We have, it's like 16 gigs of DDR4 3600. We have some cable sleeving. We have a GM3 Mini case. That's what this guy is. Put this off to the side. We have a XFX RX 6600. Not bad. A Ryzen 5 5500. A Samsung 980 1TB. 3 Antek fans and a Gigabyte B450M. So this should be a nice little system. What I'll do is we're gonna put this together. We're gonna run a couple benchmarks on it, and we'll see where it lands. So yes, please. Let's get a building. Now I know some of these parts are used. Just one. Just one will be fine. So let's go ahead and get the processor in there. And one of the things that I ran into last time with one of these builds, I should not need that. I will need this. I will need this. I'll need this. Was that I had to flash the BIOS. Thank you. Not having not having an additional AMD chip actually made it a little bit difficult on me doing the build, but I don't think this should be an issue. This should be compatible. All right, let's see which Ryzen cooler we have here. I think this is the one that requires me to, yeah, I got to screw this in. So we got to make sure we don't get the thermal paste on anything. So let's set that down. We're going to put some memory in here. And as usual with these, whenever you're looking at these, you need to make sure you follow what the motherboard's instructions are. And it is, in this instance, it is the gray slots. And got that in there. I need to make sure this is going to post. I don't believe, so this one does require an external GPU. Now, before we get too far into this, I want to just actually test this stuff. I want to verify that it powers on. So let's whip out this power supply. let's whip out their power supply. We have a power cable. This is a non-modular power supply, which for this is fine. The whole power supply only cost 75 bucks. So we actually came in a little bit under budget for this. I needed to purchase this for them. The one that they got, unfortunately, was shipped to them without any cables. So they had to go through and get that returned, hopefully. But let's see if everything is working. Do that. And then we need our CPU, which should be this guy. And actually, before we do this, let me go ahead and actually attach this cooler. It's not like this cooler is going to go anywhere, so I'll be able to attach this cooler, get it on there. That. I installed AMD off to actually for a little bit better for cable management if I go this way. So let's go ahead and do that. That's on there. Good morning, Mr. Big. This is a nice little full AMD setup here. Alright, so that's on there, and we'll get these put back in the motherboard box. We're going to take our GPU. GPU plug in there. Make sure that we don't inadvertently, like, next time. Because I want to replace those, and I want to replace the ones on the front board as well. So and the CPU, it's in there, and now we need our PCI Express. And this is going to let us know whether or not we are going to need to flash their BIOS very quickly. Alright. That's in there. That's down. Grab our power cable. Power cable in. And our HDMI. Switch over to that. This is an RX 6600, non-XT. Let's go. At this point, I just need to see if I need to flash the BIOS. I'm probably going to have to plug a speaker into this to find out for sure. And the answer is nope. We got a post. No need to flash the BIOS. Good deal. So we can just continue forward with the build and get this in the case and get this guy ready to go for the customer. Power supply over there. Alright, let's grab this case. Take the back off. Out of here. Our immensely large pack of like management stuff. Hey, kudos to them though. It's resealable. So many companies don't do that for some reason. I don't understand. Like, these little reusable Ziploc bags are super cheap. Alright, let's give this a flip. Let's get this front glass off. These screws are tight. Holy hell. Out of there. And I'll probably do this peel because of the way these are set up. I'm gonna do these corners like this. Dealt with my rat's nest of wires this morning. Yeah, cable management is somewhat difficult. Like if it's not something you do on a regular basis, it can be frustrating. But it's always rewarding because you're taking something that looks like an absolute pigsty and then cleaning it up. All right, so I just putting those back in there is all I really need to do. All right, onto the phone. Let's see what we have here. These cables are not going to be going this way. Well, maybe they will. We'll see. We do have. So this is the first time I've ever built in one of these cases. We do have some management slots over here, which are actually nicely placed. We have our management slots at the bottom. We have a hard drive rack at the back as well as the power supply. All right, so this. Yeah, this looks like this will be a nice little fit in here. All right, so out of the motherboard box, we are going to need our I/O shield, and as always, when you're installing your I/O shield, you just need to make sure once it's in place. And it's all clicked in, that when you're installing your actual motherboard, that there are no like grounding legs that are interfering with the actual sockets themselves. Because the last thing you need is a situation where you need to go plug in your Ethernet and you physically can't make it fit. Alright, so that's all lined up. Let's go ahead and get some screws in here. We have two different types of screws for this. So we just need to make sure we put the right ones in the motherboard. One. Two. And as always, we're going to use all the screws despite what some people like to do. If we got them, we're going to use them. Three. Four. That screw did not get in there. Access that. Here we go. All right. Screws in. Nice and solid all the way across. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 screws in. And as far as this rear panel goes for the video card, let's get this undone. Okay, Emily. This is going to have an RX 6600. There's something interesting with this case I'm noticing already. It has... So on the back, it has one removable I/O shield, and then the rest of them are the style that you have to physically like break. Actually, that one isn't even going to be the one that lines up for this, so we're going to have to put one in its place. Line this up. That in there. Put that there to keep some of the dust out. There we go. Like your case, once you knock out, that's it. Yeah, that's what this is. Because it's what the customer bought, Emily. It's not like I'm gonna take what the customer bought and just replace it for no reason, you know? And AMD is better than Intel right now. And as far as video cards are concerned, AMD and NVIDIA are very close to equal in performance. There we go, that's in there. All right, let's install our SSD in there. AMD's solid, legitimately. They didn't used to be, but they are now. Installed. This one does not have an I/O shield for temperature, which, because of what this is, it's not like you're going to be doing like tens of millions of MIPS, which is like instructions per second. So not too much to worry about there. All right, so we have this like 90% ready to go. What we're going to do now is we're going to install some custom cables, because AMD is better than Intel right now, Emily. Especially with what Intel just pulled with their 14th gen processors. Very sad. Oh, okay. So we have some nice red custom cabling. Go ahead and get this installed. It comes with combs. Let's take a minute and let's comb this thing up. We're going to take this cable. What I like doing for doing the combing is splitting it and then lining up the combs. I like doing one on the inside and I like doing one on the outside. So we're going to have one from each direction. So we're going to go through, and we're going to press each individual cable into here and get this plugged into the power, so to the motherboard. Affordability, like you can get equivalent Intel like last gen stuff. Like the price disparity between Intel and AMD is basically non-existent now, except for when you get to like super high-end extremes. And then there is some disparity in price. Alright, so that's one side. And this is what these cable combs are designed to do. You see how nice that looks compared to this? So let's, now from the other side, again, line everything up. And just get them kind of in here as best we can. And then, so we have one going from that direction, and then I'm going to do one from this direction. So that once it plugs into the motherboard, then I can just flip it around and it'll look quite nice. So I'm just going to do this one. The nice thing about this budget build is that it has so much room for like growth still. Like you'll be able to upgrade the the motherboard. You'll be able to upgrade the CPU. The CPU has like another generation that'll work in this. The video card still has like another generation that'll work in it. You can add more memory. You can add more storage. This is a nice little setup here. All right. So there's our basically most of our front. We have 3 fans to install. We're gonna put one back here, we're gonna put one up here, and we're gonna put one down here. And I'm probably gonna try and line them up for this part because all of the cooling is gonna be coming through here, and this isn't gonna generate a ton of heat, but we wanna be able to pull fresh, unobstructed air in. So we'll have air coming up here, and we're going to want to have it pulling this way and pulling from back here. So we'll have a fan here, fan here, fan here. We'll see how this looks. Okay, back to this. I just need to verify the cable is in there, which it is. Again, we're going to take this cable, we're going to pull this back a little bit. Yeah, all right, so these cables, because of where this is located, I'm gonna continue running them down here before we check our RGB fans to see, or check the fans, see if they are RGB. Because if they are, then then I'll probably put 2 fans here. And it'll actually hide these cables for 1, and for 2, will actually give us better airflow into the case because there is a specific spot for it on the back of the case. And there you go. That's all of those cables conveniently placed in the back of this case. And then when you put this on, even looking in the back, you have no clue. So you have your fans, you can see it's a direct path in. Because of the distance between this panel and the fans, it's the airflow isn't gonna be great, but it's gonna be a heck of a lot better than if I was trying to use the bottom of this, because generally, where this is going to be sitting, you might not have a clear path for air to flow. And secondarily, if this, let's say this is sitting on the floor, what do you mean I can't get the cover on? That's the cover on and attached, buddy. And there's no bulge whatsoever. It's perfectly flat. Look at that. One of the things that doesn't come through with this camera is the depth. This actually has quite a bit of depth. Look at that. And that's what we look up up front. And we're going to kind of push this in just a wee bit. Yeah, this looks great. Now, I'm going to plug in our HDMI. Like that. And first, power on. So, and this is what I was looking for. One of these. Yeah, it's this one. I can see the cable that it's hitting. Yep. Yeah, there's a single cable that's sitting back here that I put a little bit too close. There we go. Just had to move it a little bit. All right. Our final score is 10,613. All right, another 10-minute test. My guess was 1372. All right, so there you go. There you go. 7113. All right. Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you like the video, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I stream daily on Twitch from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you ever have a question or concern about your computer, and you just want to see if you can get an answer, swing by my Twitch channel. I'm usually there live. I can either myself or one of my community members will be able to answer your question. So stop by, hang out, and maybe learn a thing or two.